What's up my friends, my name's Jason Morris. Today I'm going to talk about the kit lens 28-70mm by Sony. So the first thing everyone says when they hear kit lenses, shit. Maybe not exactly that, but kit lenses don't necessarily get a good rap. But why is that? Usually it's because kit lenses are designed to get the consumer started into using that particular camera. And they make it affordable to throw it in with the camera as a package deal. And to make it affordable, well, usually they have to cut back on the quality to produce a lens that works well enough in most situations. Unfortunately, this kit lens is pretty much like other kit lenses and has a variable aperture. The Sony 28-70mm kit lens is designed for the full frame mirrorless Sony cameras and has an aperture of 3.5 to 5.6. So this isn't necessarily great under low light situations. It's a relatively slow lens and doesn't produce too much bokeh. On a plus note, it does have OSS, which is optical steady shot, which allows the user to be able to have slightly lower shutter speeds for photography to get more light in. In saying that, I am filming on the 28-70 right now, and yeah, it doesn't look too bad from what I can see. It separates myself from the background. Having that smaller aperture will also ensure that your subject is in focus much easier because the depth of field is a lot wider and it's not as short. I must say this lens is very cheap, but it definitely performs well under any sort of given situation. Paired with my Sony A7III, low light just really isn't an issue. If you watch my last video about the A7 III under low light situations, you'll see the camera performs incredibly well in the darkest situations with the video and photo work. Before I show you some footage of this kit lens and some photos, please smash that like button if you could. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would help me out a bunch. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Okay, so let's cue the B-roll. Okay, so here we are at 70mm. We're going to test the autofocus. So focusing on my hand, and then it's going to focus back on my face. I'll jump back into frame and pulls focus quite fast, which is really good. So I'm walking backwards here and it still catches focus, jogging forward, and yes, surprisingly it's really good for focus. So you can see here, boom, catches focus quite quick. Awesome. So let's get on to the 28mm. So it's a nice wide frame here. So it'll be catching focus quite easily, I presume. Yep, focus on my hand, focus on my face. Yep, very nice. Walking backwards now, still keeps focus, jogging forward, and it's quite sharp. It's really surprisingly performs very well. So side to side and catches focus very well. Sweet. So let's jump into the photos and see how much distortion there is and how sharp the photos turn out. Okay, so we're starting off at 28mm at 3.5. It's sharp in the middle, but it's very soft in the corners, and there's a little bit of vignetting and barrel distortion. Now moving on to 35mm at f4, it's sharp in the middle. It's a little bit soft in the corner as well, and we'll check out some vignetting, and barrel distortion is also there. Now moving on to the 50mm at f4.5, it's sharp in the middle and relatively sharp in the corners. And just checking out the vignetting, seems to have disappeared a little bit, but there's still a little bit of distortion. Now jumping onto the 70mm at 5.6, it's sharp in the middle and it's also sharp in the corners with a lot of contrast, but there still is distortion in there with not as much vignetting. So welcome back guys, is this lens worth it? Well, from what you've seen, yeah, to be honest, As a professional photographer, you'd probably have much better options than this kit lens. Say like the Sony 24-70 f4 or the 24-70 2.8 G Master, or the Tamron 28-75, which is a fantastic brand new lens they've got at the 2.8 aperture, or even something wider like the 16-35mm f4 or the 2.8 G Master. But in the end, it just depends on your budget. This lens does pack a decent punch for a kit lens, and it definitely is a good option when you're starting out in photography, or you're just wanting a cheap overall zoom lens. So that's it from me, my friends. Please smash that like button if that's something you're into. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, that would be absolutely amazing, and I'll see you in the next one.